Most people overpay for car insurance, not because they're careless, but because switching feels like too much hassle. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry compares rates side by side from over 50 top insurers and helps you switch with ease. Jerry even tracks market rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Switch with confidence. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/Libsyn today. That's JERRY.ai/LIBSYN.
Mouse PI for Hire is developed by Fumi Games and published by Playside Studios. In a time when AI chat is everywhere, playing a game like Mouse PI for Hire, where all of the animation is hand-drawn by actual people, was such a breath of fresh air. And maybe that's why it felt so alive and vibrant, despite the fact that it's in black and white. In the game, you play Jack Pepper, a 1930s war veteran turned noir detective who ticks every Sam Spade box you could want ticked. There's the trusty informant from the newspaper, the loyal bartender who serves more wisdom than booze, the fumbling mayor whose congeniality never seems 100% genuine, like the good politician he is, and the wayward protege Jack has taken under his wing, who rewards him with some hefty upgrades to his arsenal. And boy, oh boy, is there an arsenal. Because this game exists in a world inspired by 1930s and 40s cartoons, the list of weapons you end up with feels straight out of a Tex Avery, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit short. A lot of people automatically make the Disney comparison, and it is there. At one point, our hero finds himself in a swamp on the wreckage of a steamboat, and, without drawing too much attention to it, he just whistles a quick tune and... Yeah, I think I've heard that somewhere before. But the style isn't so much Disney, but more so the world of animation and movies that were popular when Walt was first stepping onto the scene. Not that the game's references stay purely in the 20th century. A lot of the biggest laughs came from more recent pop culture. I don't want to spoil any of the surprises that are coming your way. There are so many of them. I can't wait for you to experience. But suffice it to say, of all my options in the weapon wheel, my go-to gun was straight out of Roger Rabbit, and whoever's idea it was to put that in the game, I dip my hat to you. The story is just as twisted and tangled as one would expect from a classic noir detective tale. It starts with a murder, a magician, a magician's assistant, and from there, well, we might need another spool of yarn to connect all the clues on the crime board. Each thread we pull on leads us to another location, riddled with clues, secrets, puzzles, blueprints, weapons, and even skills. I felt a few of the skills came way too late in the game. I would have loved to have explored the world with them from the beginning. Now, Jack Pepper is voiced by Troy Baker, who, surprise, surprise, does a fantastic job. There's a lot of exposition in the game, a lot of story, a lot of narration, and if you're going to have us listen to a lot of talking, yeah, casting Troy Baker was the way to go. As the game continues, and it was a much bigger game than I anticipated going in, it runs the risk of feeling repetitive. Each new location could feel like a rinse and repeat, but it doesn't. It runs the risk of being repetitive, but it isn't. And that's because the set dressing in each area is fan-freaking-tastic. The artists have built one incredible set to explore, sometimes literally, after another, and no two places ever felt the same. 2D characters existing in a 3D world is a lot of fun, and they also took a very clever approach on how the characters in the game stay 2D. Go ahead, try to walk around someone and look at them from behind. Try it. It's pretty cool what they've done with it. Another aspect of the game that keeps each level fresh is the soundtrack. It's absolutely fantastic, and composer Patrick Salina did an amazing job. Just like the animation, the music is all performed by actual people. I'm a huge lover of jazz music from this era, and Salina captured the spirit without flaw. As soon as I was done, I found the soundtrack on Spotify and added the album to my rotation. I'm going to want to live in this musical world for a while. I'm not the best gamer by any stretch of the imagination, but was pretty impressed with myself that it wasn't until the final boss when I had to lower the difficulty. Some of these bosses are tough, but I really have to give the devs credit on the way they were designed. You know, in a lot of games, bosses absolutely destroy me, and I have no idea what they did. How did they do that? What was the move? What was going on? What am I supposed to do? In this case, each boss is pretty easy to read, simple in design. You know what the deal is. The tough part just comes in trying to do what you're supposed to do, and I really compliment the makers on that. It can't be an easy thing to do. Nothing is more frustrating than not knowing what you're supposed to do. And hey, if you ever get turned around, just tap down on the D-pad and you can sniff out the tracks of where to go next. Don't forget to do that. I forgot a lot. If I did have a complaint about the game, it would be the fact that I couldn't play more of it. Once you leave a location, you're done there. There is no going back to search again for clues or secrets you may have missed, and when the game is over, it is over. You can't go back to your office and revisit points on the map. If you want to check out the theater again, buddy, you gotta start a new game. I would have loved the opportunity to go back and scour, explore, really poke around to see what I missed. There were a couple of things I could see. I couldn't figure out how to get there or how to get them, and I thought, I'll come back later. No, you won't. But I guess that's a compliment. With a lot of games, when it's over, you're also done. Time to move on. Rolled credits, delete from hard drive. What's next? But with Mouse, PI for hire, I wanted to go back. I wanted to be in that world longer. I wanted to shoot guns with cartoonishly floppy barrels. I wanted to check in with Wanda and John and even the mayor one more time. I wanted to go back and read all the comics I collected in order, but never did because I wanted to wait until the end of the game. And then the game was over, and what can I say? I guess I'm a greedy mouse, and when you make cheddar this good, the mouse is going to want all it can get.